There are a lot of videos hyping up the new auto mask feature in Final Cut Pro, mine included, but nobody is telling you the full story. This tool is not perfect. We're gonna go over when you should use it and when you should not use it. And also I'll be teaching you a pro tip fix for one of its biggest problems. There are actually two ways that you can add an auto mask. You can go to the magic wand icon, also called the enhancements menu for you nerds out there, and choose Add Auto Mask, or press Control-Command-K. This is the route that I would take if you're wanting to use the auto mask to cut someone or something out from your shot. The other way that you can apply these is directly on different effects and your color correction tools. So just go to the icon that looks like someone was punched in the head, hit Auto Mask, and choose what you would like to be masked out. By the way, if you apply an effect and it's adjusting exactly what you don't want to be affected, just hit this little drop-down menu and click Invert. Obviously, the first huge pro of this new feature is that it is incredibly easy and it is instant. No analyzing and no tracking needed, unlike the Magnetic Mask. It automatically knows the perimeter of things in your video, and with the click of a button, it can mask it out. It is really wild stuff, and as far as I know, there is no video editing software that has something like this at the moment. Second, the ability to fine-tune the mask using the shrink or expand slider, which basically moves the edge of your mask in or out. So if it's grabbing too much background, you can shrink it. If it's cutting into your subject, expand it. Or you can use Erode, which is different. Erode keeps the edge exactly where it is and just feathers around it, so inward or outward. And then Blur just softens the whole thing. So shrink and expand moves the edge, Erode softens around the edge without moving it, and Blur just blurs it. Compared to the Magnetic Mask, where all we had was a feather slider, this is a real upgrade. The third great reason why you might use auto masks is that they are copyable, unlike the Magnetic Mask. Press Command-C on the clip with the mask that you want to copy, then paste onto another clip with Command-Shift-V, and select that effect that has the mask on it. Or even easier, you could just drag straight from your inspector window onto different clips. You can also drag onto the viewport if the playhead is over a clip that you want to copy to. Whatever way you choose, you're set. Fourth, and this one is sneaky good, I was really stoked when I saw this, if you extend your clip, you do not need to retrack anything. The mask just automatically adjusts and applies. So the old workflow with the Magnetic Mask would make you analyze again. This one does not care. It is instant. Okay, now the stuff that the hype videos skip. And I'm guilty of this. I was very excited when this feature came out, and I still am, but I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't mention these. First, sometimes you may want to select something in your shot besides what shows up in the auto mask selection menu. And if it's not on the list, you're out of luck. So you're basically very limited in what you can mask out. Second, you cannot adjust the mask itself. So here, it is not really understanding that the person and her dress continue in the back here. And because of this, it is causing this unavoidable flickering, which is obviously an issue. And there's nothing we can do to fix this because unlike the Magnetic Mask, we can't just click more points to add to the mask or subtract from it. Now, the weird thing is that on some shots, it holds perfectly, but on others, it is changing its mind about your subject frame by frame, and there's basically nothing you can do about it. And three, if there are multiple people in your shot, you can't just select and adjust one person. Or can you? I figured out a way. And if this pro tip helps you out, then I really hope you'll consider pressing the subscribe button down below because I've been making free Final Cut tutorials for 7 years, and pressing that button is a free way to let me know that you want these lessons to keep coming. So I'll pull up the hue saturation curves, add an auto mask, select skin, and let's say I just want to adjust her. Problem is, of course, that it selects all of them, and there's no way that you can choose who you want. So first, I'll make a wild adjustment here so we can see what we're working with. I'll swing the global hue versus hue slider until they start looking like they got a big whiff of the Final Cut Pro. And add a little blur to make it more gradual. Now go back to that masking icon and add a magnetic mask on top of it. Select the person who you want to be adjusted, and remember you can hold Option to deselect from the mask, and then hit Analyze. Yes, this does mean that we have to use the Magnetic Mask for instances like this, which does take some processing time, but it is what it is. Hit Done, and you might be thinking, well, that didn't work, you idiot. Fair, but here's the secret. Go to the blend mode on the mask, and click Intersect. Now the adjustment only hits where both masks agree, which means just her. And if you decide that you'd like everyone but her to be adjusted, just select Subtract. Here's the truth about all this masking stuff. Selecting your subject is step one, but knowing what to actually do with that selection, so with the color, the exposure, the skin tones, that is what separates an okay edit from one that looks expensive, and that is one of the many things that my students learn in the FCP Color Grading Masterclass. So check out what people are saying about it by clicking the link below, and have a great rest of your day.